Hi again. I wanted to talk with you briefly about resumes and cover letters. I've spoken with you a fair amount about resumes already. We've done some reading about them, and we've talked about how resumes have to be pitched to a particular employer. Well, the same thing applies for cover letters. It's an argument. It's your best case. It's your last chance. It's your best pitch to make an argument in which you make the best case possible that you are the right fit for that job.
Use keywords. Let's take a minute to look at this job that I found on Monster.com. Use keywords. This job describes a number of the qualities that you would need in order to do this job of a scriptwriter effectively. Use keywords. I hope you're getting a sense that these keywords are important. But what are the keywords in this document? Well, if you look, develop scripts for on-demand video content is important. To be able to research, analyze, and document information is important. To write documents. To communicate and manage the review process. These are the important keywords. So, Dr. E, why are you making such a big deal about keywords?
I'm glad you asked. The truth is, many companies and hospitals, law enforcement agencies use computers to screen resumes first. So, if your resume and cover letter do not include the words that they're looking for, in other words, the words that indicate that you're qualified for the job, you won't have a chance at getting an interview.
Let's look at some samples. So, what I've done is I brought up a sample cover letter and a sample resume. Let's look at the resume first. This is mine, and what I did was I was applying for essentially a job writing a book. Some for-profit companies ask that you do this, some academic publishers don't. But I don't have a copy of the ad here, so this is what our readings call a functional resume. My major profession is a professor. I'm not applying for a job as a professor. I'm applying for a job as a technical writer. So rather than objective, I have summary of qualifications, professional technical writer editor with 20 plus years of research publication experience. Work history includes 7 years of contract business for a business broker as well as technical documentation, full responsibility for overseeing publications, etc. I'm not going to read everything, but the point is that these right here are the keywords that are in that particular job ad. And the job ad asks for technical documentation, publication oversight, and experienced writers. So in each case, I pulled one of the major qualifications, and then I got very specific information, and notice the bulleted point list that demonstrates or proves that I have the skills that they want me to have. And notice the bulleted list. A couple of other things. Notice there is a lot of white space. Design is important, and each major section of the resume gives the reader more information, and the bulleted lists and the use of highlighting pulls out the keywords as well. I used very little of my work history. I just noted where I'd worked when. I don't always include my military service just because it's been so long ago. But in this case I did because I began my technical writing career while still in the Navy. I listed some of the companies I've contracted for, and education, which I worked heart and soul to get, is listed very briefly. Notice I don't even give my grade points, which were like 3.89, because it's not relevant for this particular job. My grades don't prove I'm a good writer. What I've done as a writer proves I'm a good writer as well. So notice this information, notice the format. Now, let's look at the cover letter, which I'll look at in a little bit more detail with you. Dear Ms., and this is actually based on a conversation because I called the company. I appreciated our phone conversation yesterday, during which you invited me to apply for future contract work with the name of the company. I think that if you review my qualifications, you'll find I'm an effective writer with experience with a number of forms of written communication, and that I can be of great service to your company. So, notice the opening paragraph right here. The very specific job you're applying for. Why is that important? Personnel officers from companies can get applications from many, many, many different jobs. So make sure they know which job you're applying for as well. So research is a key. The name of the company's work involves research. So I list a qualification. I demonstrate how I've got the qualifications. Again, kind of breaking out or explaining my resume a little bit more. Professional writing, writing for publication, and again, notice I've gone through and pulled the key words, the key ideas, the key concepts from each of these key qualifications the job wants, and then notice the conclusion. I honestly believe my qualifications and your company's needs make me a good match for one another. If you have any questions or you'd like to interview me, please don't hesitate to contact me at the above address, email address, or phone number. The signature, best, sincerely, some kind of pleasantly professional salutation, and then my name. Notice it's one page. It gives, it's in a professional or what's called a block format, and it makes an argument that I am the best qualified person for the job, and notice it's pitched toward a very, very specific job. I recommend heartily that you go and do likewise.
So, to sum up, as we've already discussed before, read the qualifications discussed in the job ad very thoroughly. Notice what the keywords are. Make sure your resume reflects it. Make sure your cover letter reflects it. And again, both documents are persuading people that you are the best person for the job. Best of luck in this endeavor. If I can be of help at all, please let me know. Thanks.